Hey everyone, I'm Madalyn Sklar, host of the Social ROI Chat, and I want to welcome our awesome guest we had today, JMatt. Hey JMatt, how are you?
Pretty great. It was a great discussion. I had a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about the power of gifts? It's a great topic. And you were the best person when I was, thinking about like, who should I bring on to talk about gifts? Like,
Mhm.
you're great at it. So
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. So thank you for being our guest today.
no problem. Happy to do it.
So before we dive in, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm JMatt. I have, as of last week, I started a brand new job. I am the midday guy on 103.7 KISS FM in Milwaukee. It's a top 40 radio station. And aside from that, I'm also their digital program director for KISS and their sister station, The Mix in Milwaukee. So I help coach the radio DJs on how to do better at social media, and that includes GIFs.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. That is super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are like the master of gifts. Our topic today is the power of gifts, do's and don'ts. And I want to first start off with asking you, like, how did you get into gifts? I mean, I think for some people, they think it's a brand new thing. I was a
Yeah.
web designer back in the early days of the internet, and we used to call them animated gifts, and they've been
Yep.
around a really long time. But they really are popular today. So how did you
Yeah.
get into all this?
Yeah, it was May. It might have even been a Twitter Smarter chat. I saw two different people putting Twitter answers out with a GIF of themselves. And I was like, that is super clever. That's standing out. How did you make it? I started asking so many questions. And then they're like, oh, go to Giphy. You can upload videos there. It's super easy to do. And then along the process, I found you can create an artist channel. And then the artist channel allows your GIFs to be searchable on Twitter and Facebook. And recently, Instagram direct messages allows for GIFs too. So I didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, it was a whim that I tried to be an artist channel, and it worked. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I think that's so awesome. I do remember that chat you're talking about where it was a couple of the guys on there sharing these custom gifts they
Mhm.
made, and this like side conversation started. And I was watching that conversation. And I
Yeah.
was like, I wanted to like, we were all like, let's all make custom gifts. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this too, but I just didn't get to it. But I want to.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot from watching all of you with how
Yeah.
you're doing this. And I love that we can utilize Giphy to do that. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize
Yeah.
Giphy is the place to do it. And I remember Andrew and Pete, who have been guests on this chat, they wrote an article about this that's at Social Media Examiner. So if anybody wants to go find that, just go Google Andrew and Pete, Social Media Examiner, and you'll find that article. So yeah, I think that's super cool that you like really immerse yourself into this. Your
Yeah.
gifts are so good.
Thank you.
They are very inviting, and they make you want to converse, right? Because
Yeah.
I think that's like the whole point.
Yeah. And for me, I learned early on that the sillier the gifts, the better that they did. Like people like the silliness. You got to just be comfortable with yourself. You're making a GIF of yourself at first of all. If you can
Yeah,
get over that hurdle, then you're gold.
absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing, is getting comfortable in front of the camera and then just having fun with it.
Yep.
How long did it take you to make, like, you have a whole bunch of them over on Giphy. How many total
Yeah,
do you
I've
have?
got 93 so far, and I've got
Oh
another
my gosh.
batch that I could make. I probably should have over 100 by the time I finish my next batch.
Wow. So do
Yeah.
you just get inspired and keep making more?
It's it's at this point it's become when I'm looking for a perfect response to something, I'll see if I have the gift first, and I could have poorly tagged some of them, but ultimately if I don't have a gift for it, I write it on my list, and the next time I want to do a batch of video, I've got okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I just do it all in one sitting.
That's smart. Do you have a place you go to do, like, is there a studio you go and record these, or do you just have like a backdrop and at home and you do like, where do you do this?
Well, a lot of them have the Kiss FM backdrop to it, and it's partially how it helped me to get verified on Giphy. There's a backdrop in our radio studio. So when I'm live on the radio, when I have a little bit of downtime, I'll set up a tripod and I'll just set the camera on, record it for like 3 minutes, and I'll just run through all my ideas that I can. And then I'll go back and I'll trim up the video, because you can just kind of save as a new video, then trim that up. And then you're just making essentially 20 GIFs from one long video.
I love that. That is super, super smart. But really, is as simple as just finding a spot to do it, getting a tripod. You can do it with your phone. Like, our phones are amazing with the cameras. You know, I've got the iPhone X, and the quality of the video I can produce on that is better than most cameras today, right? So,
yeah, and if you can grab a tripod and you set it up, you can use the good camera instead of the selfie camera. And the other thing is, with the selfie camera, I think we're tempted to look at the actual picture that we're shooting, and then our eyes are looking down and low. So if you can use the other camera, set it up with a tripod, do the framing right, you're going to have a really professional looking GIF.
Yeah, that's really cool. When did your Giphy page first start? When did you do that?
It was the end of May. I had 8 GIFs on the channel already, and then I submitted it to become an artist channel, and it didn't take too long. I think it was like a week. There was a weird glitch that they had to work through, and then it worked out just fine.
And what's the difference between an artist page and a brand? See, I've heard of the brand page.
Yeah.
So I didn't know there was an artist. Is that just like an individual versus a business?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a brand account yet, but for an artist account, you get a blue check mark. A brand account, you get your stuff searchable, but you don't get the check mark. It's weird. I don't have a brand account yet, but I do want to make one for my radio station. So soon I'll kind of know more about the difference. But yeah, the artist is an individual, and a brand, there's like talk about how brands can work with artists, but it has to be separate content. It's a little bit more confusing, but I would just recommend, if you're an individual looking to make GIFs, just go for that artist account.
Okay, that makes sense. And for those that want to start making these, I mean, is it as simple as just recording a video on your phone and then uploading it to Giphy, or are there apps to use? Like, how are you creating these?
Someone mentioned Canva. I have not used that, but hey, if Canva works for you, great. And I know we talk a lot about like the artist account, the brand account from Giphy. You can have a regular account on Giphy that's not verified. The only thing is, your stuff won't be searchable. You can create the GIF through the app, and then once you upload it, you can hold on your phone and copy it, or you can save it to your camera roll and you can upload it later. Before I even knew that you could verify it, I saved a bunch of my GIFs on my desktop in a separate favorited folder. And then when I would go on Twitter, I would select the images, and then I'd go to that specific folder and then find what I wanted to use. You can do it that way.
Okay, interesting. So anyone can set up a Giphy account. They could create their own, put it in there. They're just not searchable by the public, but you can use them. Okay.
Yeah, you can use your own GIFs. The whole thing is, with being verified, is they want to then look at the GIFs you're uploading to make sure that there's no copyright infringement. Because, for example, I love this one. Star Wars has an account. So when you're looking on Giphy and you see Star Wars related GIFs, those aren't copyrighted infringed. Those are okay for people to use, because Star Wars, the people that produced the movie, put those on Giphy so that their fans could use the GIFs on any platform that Giphy is powering search with.
That's really interesting. And I saw there were a couple of tweets during the chat where people were asking about copywriting. Like, can you take a video that's not yours and create a GIF and use it? Do you know about some of these copyright issues?
I'm not a lawyer, so don't, take my word, but I think this advice will work. Think about photos and videos that you would share to Facebook or any on social media or your website, what those legal standpoints are of, you can't steal something from Google. You can't take stuff that you don't own. That's the same for a GIF, because basically you're taking a GIF, or you're taking a video, making it into a GIF. So if you took some pop culture thing or something from a movie that you found on YouTube and you uploaded that into Giphy, yeah, you can do that, but it's probably illegal. So if you wouldn't do it with video or picture, don't do it with a GIF either.
Yeah, that's great advice. What's like the difference between the GIFs on Twitter versus Instagram, and now Instagram is allowing them in the DMs, which is super cool. Are are you getting a lot of traction in Instagram as well, or are you just doing this on Twitter? Like, give us your thoughts on the
The
different
interesting
platforms.
thing is you can't really tell where people are seeing your GIFs. Giphy has a channel or a channel for you to be able to see on your dashboard how many overall views you've gotten. And in case you're wondering, a view of a GIF on Giphy is a view when it pops up in the search results. It's not, okay, I watched it and it looped and I'm watching it again and it looped. That doesn't count. It's a one-time thing. So
Okay.
it doesn't also track like, oh, somebody clicked on this and put this in their tweet or put this on Facebook, right? It showed up on Instagram. It's not a robust set of analytics, but it's enough that I was surprised by. And Instagram, there's two different styles of GIFs. There's the GIFs that you can include in your DMs, which is just your standard GIF, the kind of stuff you've been seeing on Twitter in the social ROI chat. Then there's another thing, which I'm intrigued by. I haven't figured out how to execute it yet, but it's on my list. It's a sticker. That is what Giphy considers it. It's a PNG.
Yeah.
It's a transparent GIF. So the background's cut out, but you see people dancing on Instagram stories or even Snapchat stories. Those are, I think, considered stickers in the Giphy world.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see those. So when you're doing like an Instagram story and you can have, and they are transparent GIFs, it makes
Yep.
perfect sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a way to get those on there. You're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's going to take more work because I'll have to cut the background out. And if it's got to be a
Yeah.
short GIF for me to cut out frame by frame, I've got the idea. I understand how it's executed. It's just slightly above my skill set at this current moment, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. I love that. I love your attitude. And
Thank you.
when you're on Giphy and you're verified, that's when you get the analytics, right?
Yes.
Is if you're verified.
Yep.
And so tell everybody, how many times has your GIFs been viewed?
Yep. I just checked earlier today and we were at 14.4 million views since May.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
I have one
amazing.
GIF that has over 1 million.
That's
One GIF.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
is
Thank you.
incredible. That is
Yeah.
incredible. Which one has 1 million?
It's the one where I'm thinking like this, and it's just like me trying to think of something. I am shocked that is the one that has the most views. There's the second highest one is of me going, oh, thank you. That is the second one.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Do these analytics, does it tell you like who's used them? Does it let you know like who's actually using them, like in a tweet or? Yeah,
I wish.
nice.
My
That would
theory
be cool.
is that if my GIF searches or my GIF is towards the top of your results, likely when you typed in, let's say thinking, for example, and it pops up in the results, let's say it's buried a little bit, you click it, somebody clicks it, so many people click it, enough people are clicking it that with that tag in my GIF, it's populating towards the top. That's my theory. I can't confirm that, but it makes sense to me. The ones that are getting clicked higher in a tag are the GIFs that are getting served up higher out of the results.
That is super cool. Stacy is here. Kevin's here. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. Stacy said she missed the chat, but she's catching this with us now. She says you are killing it on Instagram. So
Awesome.
that's awesome hearing that.
Thank you, Stacy.
Very cool. How do you get your ideas to create these? Just when you're having conversations with people, like you said earlier, like, oh, I wish I had one, and you add it to your list. Is it just like, and are you getting ideas from seeing what other people are posting?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. It's also, I'm a big reaction GIF user. So if I'm like, that was a great job, I've got a ton of me doing thumbs up. But just even the obscure ones for a while, and I'm glad it's no longer my top 5. I had one where I was sneezing on camera, like a chew, like a fake one, but whatever. I don't know why that was number 5. I assume it's because there weren't many sneezing GIFs, and at the time people were looking for it, allergies. I don't know. Glad it's not in the top 5 anymore. And then there's another thing that I like to do, which is location-based GIFs. So when I used to search for Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there were some really bad GIFs that were available, and there wasn't any options. So I was like, all right, personal goal is figure out how that I can create GIFs in Milwaukee. So whether it's like Michigan or a flag waving or on a boat and driving by the skyline or something, I've now created at least 5 to 10 GIFs of Milwaukee specifically. And I've seen other people use it and having no idea it's associated to me. So yeah.
That's super cool. That's a great idea.
Yep.
All right, so let's close this out with the last question from the chat. It was question number 7. What tips would you give a tech startup that wanted to create GIFs as part of their engagement strategy?
Yeah, I would consider customer service and reaction GIFs probably more positive than negative, realistically. If there's nobody on your staff that you are comfortable having be the face of your company, or that is comfortable doing it in general, you could have a mascot. You could either have a mascot that comes in and you, like Hootsuite does their owl, and they've got GIFs of the owl doing stuff. That's pretty clever. That's an easy way to do it. If you have a graphic designer that can animate your mascot, that would be another way. That's more of a graphic designer, a more involved thing to do. But if you've got an animated mascot, that would be a great way to include him in more than just a static image.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I've seen the Hootsuite ones, very well done. Do you think we'll see more brands embracing this, like the way Hootsuite has done it and some other brands out there have done it?
I think they just need to hire the right people that are either the people creating it, or at least have the idea of how they could use those GIFs if somebody made it for them.
People like you that are good at this.
Yeah, totally. Hire me. But I've already got a job. I'll consult.
Yeah, little side gig, little side hustle. Exactly. Well, JMatt, thank you so much for coming on today. This has been really awesome. I know we all learned so much. I know everyone was taking notes. And so hopefully a bunch of us, I'm definitely inspired to really start work. I've made some little custom ones here and there. There was an app on my phone called Visco, VSCO. Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
It was an iPhone app a long time ago, and you could just press a button on your phone and just hold it up selfie style and make little instant animated GIFs. So I would, sometimes make them and post them, but I'm inspired to do what you and some of the others are doing, where you get a nice backdrop and you just make a whole bunch of them and put them out there. So yeah, we might see some,
Twitter Smarter, social ROI. You got so many opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for spending time with us. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Anywhere that you're on social media, just look up at JMatt MKE. JMatt
Awesome. I'm going to post a link here to your Twitter and Facebook here. So awesome. Thank you. This has been so much fun. I just know that this was lots of great learning today that I'm sure everybody agrees with. So take care, and I'll see you out in the chats like I always do.
Sounds great to me. Thanks for having me.
Bye, JMatt. Bye, everybody. We'll be back next week with another great chat.